Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and now here I am with another DC Extended Universe review. And now next up, this is going to be a review for Shazam. So, going into this film, I really didn't really know what to expect. Prior to this film, I really didn't know that much about the Shazam character at all. He's really not a character that really from DC that really is like one of the more popular ones. Like he's really not at the level of popularity like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, and so on. Like yeah, he's really not like at the top of popularity when it comes to the DC characters. So yeah, so I really didn't know that much about him, if anything at all. Prior to this film, yeah, all I really did know about Shazam is that his original name was Captain Marvel. So yeah, both Marvel and DC had a character named Captain Marvel. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, later on they did change his name to Shazam because like uh I'm sure like a lot of you do know that Shazam was what he said to transform because of course Shazam is like an alter ego of a young boy, and this film talks about that. Like it shows how he really is a young boy, and he actually does a transform into like a an adult superhero. Yeah, and he says Shazam to transform. Yeah, yeah, and when with him saying Shazam, a lot of people thought due to that his name was Shazam. So I guess that was the reason why DC later on relabeled him as a Shazam. Yeah, and I guess it was a good thing that they did because yeah they couldn't have actually called this film Captain Marvel because yeah. Marvel's Captain Marvel film was released just a few weeks before this film was, so yeah, so they obviously couldn't call this film Captain Marvel as well. So I guess it's a good thing that they renamed him Shazam, so they could actually give this film a different title. Yeah. So yeah, so but that's really all that I really did know about the Shazam character. That he was originally named Captain Marvel. I didn't really know exactly what his powers really were or like uh, anything actually about the character itself. So yeah, so I really didn't know anything about the character, so I wasn't really too sure what to really expect with this film or really what they were really going to do with this film. Yeah. Plus yeah, if you and plus also if you do know Shazam, the concept of the Shazam story, like you know, like the concept of this idea, it honestly does sound pretty ridiculous and silly. So yeah, so I'm sure the people that did know Shazam were kind of nervous about how this was going to turn out. I mean, yeah, but with Aquaman actually being a pretty good movie, like I was saying in my review for Aquaman, after Zack Snyder left while Justice League was in production, yeah, after he left, it really did seem how the DC films were really starting to improve, and that did start with Aquaman, and Aquaman was a pretty good movie, yeah, and it continued here because yeah, here they actually did give us a really good movie. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this really was actually a very enjoyable movie, and they really did a good job of telling the story. Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, if you do know the story of Shazam, the concept of this idea, it is honestly pretty silly because yeah, like I was just saying a minute ago, Shazam is really a boy that is ends up being um uh given these a new magical powers from a wizard, and he's able to actually transform into a adult superhero. Yeah. Yeah, and this film does show every time he says Shazam, he alternates, he changes back and forth from just his normal a boy persona to actually changing into the adult superhero. So yeah, so it is a very unusual concept for a superhero. Like, yeah, you don't really like see like a superhero stories. Well, yeah, any like superheroes that really do like kind of like have this kind of a story. Yeah, usually like a superheroes are actually like a like people people that are like in their late teenage years are full on adults. Like we see it like from both DC and Marvel. So yeah, so this is a very unusual concept for a superhero. But yeah, like I said, they really did do a good job with it. Like it is like written very well, and they really do a good job of telling the story. Yeah, the story for the film, like it really is like a kind of simple. It's just about a boy that is like he really is like a kind of like a finding himself in a lot of trouble because of like his background and his history. So yeah, due to like his backstory, like he is like kind of like causing up some trouble. But then yeah, then when he gets like taken into a group home, as he like defends one of his um uh, foster siblings, like that's when he's kind of like seen as worthy of taking on these like magical powers, and so then he gets like handed over the powers, and so then yeah, then like throughout the film, like I said, he's like changing, like he keeps alternating between like just his normal his like real identity and of the superhero. Yeah, and yeah, and throughout the film, like at first it's kind of like how like being like a kid he really is just trying to kind of like use his powers for like fame and money, yeah, but then yeah, then over time he really does like learn like how he really can actually like protect people and save the world, and then that's really what he does end up doing later on. So yeah, so it is like a relatively simple story, but yeah, it really is like told very good. It's very well written and it's pretty well acted. Like this movie doesn't really have like any sort of like big names in the film. Like it stars Zachary Levi as Shazam himself, and yeah, and he does pretty good. Like having like a with him supposed to be like a be playing like a teenager her basically in like an adult's body, he really does do a good job of getting it down. Because yeah, as like the Shazam, when he's supposed to like have the he's supposed to be like a boy, he really does do a good job of really like making it feel like very awkward. Because yeah, that really is like how like a lot of the stuff is like with him actually as the hero. Like he really does act like a pretty awkward word, like trying to like uh, be an adult while like actually uh, being a kid inside. Yeah, so yeah, and he really does do a good job of really like playing like a kid in an adult's body and making it feel very awkward. Awkward, yeah. So yeah, so I do like him in the role. I think he does do a pretty good job. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, and the film does have like some other cast members that really are not any like A-list celebrity and really aren't even that well known. Like you have cast members like Mark Strong, Jack Dylan Grazer, Dijamin and Hyunso, uh, Grace Fulton, Ian Chen, Cooper Andrews, Marta Millen. So yeah, so it really doesn't have any true like A-list celebrities or anybody that really is like that popular. So yeah, so I kind of like do like how they really did go with like people that really just aren't really like that well known to be in this movie. That really is like how you really do cast people in these kinds of movies. Yeah, and they did do a good job of doing that. Yeah, and so yeah, so I just really don't know what else to really say. Like, it is really like it is a really good film. It is very well written, and yeah, and even like with the villain, like they really do a good job of really right with the villain as well. The villain is very well written because yeah, like the film does start like kind of like showing like the backstory of the villain, and when you actually like see this like in the actual film, you can kind of like see like how like his motivations for doing what he's doing. Because yeah, when you do really like see like his backstory, it just kind of like give him a reason to kind of like do what he is doing in the film. So yeah, so his motivation really does make sense. Yeah, so the villain is also very well written in this film as well. So yeah, so just I just really don't know what else I can really say about it. But yeah, this really is like a really good film, and like I said, this really does continue the redemption of DC and their films just continuing to improve. Yeah, and I would definitely say that this is another one of the better DC films. Like it's not as great as Wonder Woman, obviously, but yeah, it is like a better than a lot of the early ones. Pretty, unlike Man of Steel and Suicide Squad and Justice League and such. So yeah, so just what else can I really say about it? Like it is like a really good film, and they did do a good job of telling the story. So yeah, so I guess I would probably give this film 3.5 stars out of 4. Yeah. All right. So yeah, so I don't really know what else I can really say about it. All right. So I guess I'll just like go through the premise of the movie. All right. So the film opens in the year 1974, and it shows how there's this young boy, Thaddeus Savannah. He's like riding with his abusive father and brother or during a snowstorm heading to their grandfather's house, and it's showing how like his dad and brother are just like a very verbally abusive to him and are like constantly mocking him. Yeah, but then yeah, then all of a sudden like the father and brother end up just like disappearing, and then Thaddeus is then like suddenly just like transported to like another dimension where he like finds himself in a mystic temple that's known as the Rock of Eternity. Yeah, and when he's there, he then like meets an ancient wizard who is named Shazam. Yeah, and he's explained to Thaddeus how he's uh he's been like a searching for someone who's pure of heart to bestow his power and be named as a new champion and be like declared the new Shazam. Um, um, Due to like the previous one actually releasing the seven deadly sins. Yeah, and then but then Thaddeus then like started to like hear the sins like talking to him, and then the sins were like promising Thaddeus power if he actually does free them, and Thaddeus really was tempted to actually free the sins. Yeah, but then then the wizard like stops him from freeing the sins. Then due to Thaddeus' temptation to free the sins, the wizard then just found him unworthy of taking on the powers, and so then he ended up magically returning him back into the into reality inside the car with his father and brother. Yeah, and when Thaddeus like got back into the car, like he was just very frustrated and confused about it. He tried to explain to his father and brother like what just happened, but then it just ended up like leading to the car like getting into an accident, and then Thaddeus's father ended up like becoming paralyzed in the accident from the waist down, and this caused his father to uh, uh, have even more resentment towards Thaddeus. Yeah, yeah. Then yeah, but then Thaddeus then also like received like a message from his magic 8 ball toy or from the Sins telling him to find them. Yeah, yeah. But then then it then cut to present day in Philadelphia, and it shows there's this 14-year-old boy, Billy Batson, who has been uh, like in a whole bunch of the different foster homes, but he's been like running away from all of them because he really is like very determined to try to find his biological mother. And yeah, in the movie, explains how 10 years earlier, Billy actually did get separated from his mother while they were at a carnival. Yeah, so he's been trying to search for her ever since, and he's been constantly running away from his foster homes. Yeah, yeah, and he's been always trying to try to find his mother, but and then when he tried to look up his mother through a police computer, it showed that he was unsuccessful in finding his mother. Then eventually Billy ended up being placed in another group home that was run by this couple, Victor and Rosa Vasquez, and they also have five other children in their care as well, including one named Freddy, who was a superhero enthusiast. It showed he had a replica of one of Batman's batarangs, and yeah, and he had some paper articles about Superman and stuff. Yeah, then then it showed how elsewhere. It showed how Thaddeus, now fully grown, was finally able to find the Rock of Eternity again. Yeah, then entering the temple, he then ended up freeing the sins. And then he ended up becoming the sins vessel when the eye for the sins ended up fusing with uh Thaddeus's body. Yeah, and then it showed how he was able to easily overpower the wizard. Yeah, then it showed how later on he with the powers that he now had, he could he was then easily able to overpower everyone. And then yeah, it showed then he confronted his father and brother. Yeah, then he ended up killing them along with his father's company's board of directors. Yeah. Uh, then yeah, then after Freddy ended up being attacked by some bullies at school. Billy then was able to yeah, he defended Freddy from the bullies. Yeah, then the bullies then chased him to a subway station. Yeah, then as Billy boarded the subway, showed then how the other passengers on the subway ended up disappearing, and then Billy then found himself transported to the Rock of Eternity, where he met with the wizard, and then the wizard then explained to Billy that he did see Bill did see Billy worthy to be his new champion, and then like he then told Billy to say the name Shazam, and then as Billy then held on to the magic staff, as Billy then said Shazam, then that's when Billy ended up transforming into Shazam, who now an adult, and yeah, and he became the hero Shazam, wearing he having a red and gold suit with a black cape, and of course the logo this a bright yellow sort of a lightning bolt on his chest. So if you do know the character of Shazam, you do know his outfit. Yeah, and this was the outfit that he wore. Then as the wizard then left his magic staff behind, and he just showed him disintegrating and seemingly dying. Yeah, then eventually then Billy in Shazam form then went back home, and then he explained the whole situation to Freddy, and then yeah, Freddy then tried to help Billy kind of explore his powers, and it showed over time he had powers such as superhuman strength, almost being completely invulnerable, electric manipulation. Then it was also shown later how he also had the ability to fly. So yeah, so he had all these powers. So kind of another sort of version of Superman, but yeah, not quite the exact same powers, and not really as powerful as Superman, obviously. Yeah, and like I said, whenever he does say Shazam, he alternates, he was able to keep changing back and forth between like just his regular uh, Billy identity and back into Shazam whenever he would say Shazam. Yeah. And then yeah, and like I said, like throughout the film, like it showed how like Billy was kind of just like a with Freddy's help, was just kind of like using his powers for like fame and money, and it was showing how like Billy was like using his powers to skip school to do this. Yeah, but yeah, then like as a Shazam like was getting like a more and more popular, like he was kind of like not really like a following up on promises he made to Freddy, like attending lunch at school as Shazam and some other things. Yeah, then Freddy was starting to get like upset with Billy, but then yeah, after Billy like ended up saving like a bus that he accidentally put in danger, like Freddy then like was starting to get like really mad at Billy over like how he was acting. Yeah, but eventually then Billy ended up being confronted by Thaddeus. Yeah, then Thaddeus was just like a really like demanding that Billy like give him the powers. Yeah, but yeah, Billy was then like able to like escape from Thaddeus. Yeah, and then we had like this whole like uh bit where like they were like fighting throughout a mall. Yeah, and yeah, then eventually then like with Billy like seemingly escaping, then Thaddeus then like noticed how like Freddy was like always around Billy, so then like he like pretty much like forced Freddy into like leading him to Shazam. Yeah, then yeah, then later on like he was like one of the kids in the foster home with Billy then like said how like he was able to like track where Billy's biological mother really was, and then yeah, then Billy then was able to actually find his mother and paid a visit to her. Yeah. And when they reunited, like Billy was of course like happy to see his mother again, but yeah, his mother like just kind of like kind of was surprised to see him. Then yeah, then she revealed to Billy that like when they got separated at the carnival, like she actually did like see him after that, but yeah, it's like when she saw like the police, he's like had him, like she then like just realized that like how she was like felt that she was like inadequate to really take care of Billy as a young mother, and felt that like the police could really take better care of Billy than she could, and so then yeah, and she just felt that like um, Billy would be better off without her. Yeah, so yeah, Billy was like, of course, like very upset to see that like like his mother basically like had no was no use to him anymore. Yeah, but yeah, but then when Billy then like learned that Thaddeus actually like did take Frankie and the other kids and his group home hostage, then Billy then rushed back home as Shazam. Then Thaddeus pretty much then just like forced Billy to transfer the Shazam powers over to him for their safety. Then when Billy then went into the Rock of Eternity with Thaddeus to actually transfer the powers. Like before they like Billy could actually transfer the powers over, the other kids then like just attack Thaddeus. Yeah, but then yeah, then as Thaddeus like was like starting to like unleash the sins as they were leaving his body. Thaddeus like was actually becoming uh vulnerable well, to the attacks. Yeah. So then yeah, then as Billy or Shazam and the kids all escape uh, from the portal. Yeah, then like they then pursue like lured Thaddeus to a winter carnival, and then as Thaddeus was like unleashing the sins, and then as like the sins had like all the kids, then like uh Billy was once again pretty forced into transferring the powers over to Thaddeus, yeah. But then, yeah, then like Billy then like started then like remembered something that the wizard had actually said to him about how the forms of like the brothers and sisters of Shazam are waiting. Then Billy then ended up like and just overpowering Thaddeus. Yeah. Then uh, he had like all the kids then grab onto the staff, and then yeah, then he just like told the kids to say his name. Yeah, and we got like a really dumb moment where like the kids like at first just all shouted Billy. Yeah, then yeah, then Billy just like told them like not to say his actual name, but say the name that he used to turn into the hero. So then, yeah, then after that, then the kids then all shouted Shazam. Yeah, then yeah, then when they shouted Shazam, then they all were then transformed into like their own versions of Shazam as well. So they all became like adult superheroes as well. Yeah. Yeah. Then yeah, then after that happened, then Billy ended up destroying the staff. Yeah. Then as the all the Shazam family were like fighting all the sins. Billy then like was went after Thaddeus, yeah. Then yeah, then like Billy then like realized that like while like Thaddeus did like release almost like all the sins from his body, he still had one more in him, which was like envy. Yeah, then Billy then just like goaded envy into uh, coming out of Thaddeus's body, yeah, which he then eventually did, and then after um, Thaddeus was then left vulnerable. Like Billy took Thaddeus and then just like recaptured all the sins. Yeah, then Billy then eventually ended up just like pulling the eye out of Thaddeus's head and defeating him. Yeah, then after they defeated Thaddeus, like Billy and the others were then all hailed as heroes, and then the Sins ended up being returned back to their prison, and then yeah, then Billy and the others then like saw how they can actually like use the Rock of Eternity as their superhero headquarters. Yeah, then yeah, then it showed how like Billy was then accepting of his foster home as his like real family. Yeah, then yeah, and then the movie then ended like back at school with Freddy and the others like sitting together at lunch. Yeah, then it then showed um uh, Billy as Shazam, then arriving at school for lunch. Yeah, but then yeah, then he told Freddy that like he also invited someone else to lunch as well, and then yeah, then it showed then Superman walking up too. Though we only saw the body, we didn't actually see his head or face. So yeah, so it like wasn't like Henry Cavill didn't actually appear in this film as Superman. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, and when yeah, then it just showed like Freddy just like being shocked to see Superman, and then yeah, then that's when the movie cut to credits. Yeah, but then like we then like had the mid credit scene showing how like Thaddeus was now in prison, but then like there was an talking caterpillar in his cell that was like proposing an alliance with him. Yeah. So yeah, so this is something that carries over to a future movie. Yeah. And then yeah, then like after the credits, like we got like this little bit where like they pretty much took a shot at Aquaman, like Shazam, like it showed that like he couldn't actually like communicate with any fish, and he just like pretty much said how like that's not like a lame, like that's a lame power. Yeah, and then yeah, then it just cut to black. Yeah. So yeah, so like I said, this is actually like a pretty good movie. Like the idea of this yeah, like the concept of this idea does honestly like sound very silly and ridiculous, but yeah, they really did make it work, and they gave us a pretty good movie. Like it is like a well acted movie. It's very well written, and the characters are all like pretty good. And yeah, they and it is cool to kind of like see this Shazam character, and yeah, and it would be cool to actually like see him come face to face with Superman. Though yeah, knowing like what has been like announced It's like in the last several months, like that's probably unlikely to actually happen now. So it does kind of suck that we probably won't get to see that. Yeah, but yeah, this is still like a pretty good film, and yeah, and like I said, it really was like really enjoyable, and I think that this definitely did like pass a lot this did like go past a lot of people's expectations because I'm sure like people really were not really expecting a lot from the film, but yeah, it really did deliver, and yeah, we did get a pretty good film, and it is one of the better DC films. So yeah, so like I said, it is a pretty good film. So I do think that this film is definitely worth a watch. So yeah, so like I said, I give this film 3.5 stars out of 4. So yeah, pretty good film, and yeah, one of the better DC films. Yeah, and of course, like just 2 or 3 months ago, the sequel was released for the film. Yeah, but yeah, I'll get to that later on. Like I'll talk about that when I do reach it in these reviews. Yeah, but this one overall, really good film, and yeah, and I guess I would recommend it. I think it is worth watching. All right. So yeah, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. All right. So this does it for my review of Shazam. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.